Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If Secretary Granholm can see now that the pause should be in the rearview mirror by this time next year, one would suspect that Secretary Granholm, as the Department of Energy, recognizes, I would submit, that that should be in the rearview mirror now. That's a position I believe. I think that she's right. It should be in the rearview mirror, whether it be now or next year, but the sooner the better because of the job impacts. Mr. Kelly, you said that most of your business is tied to energy. Most of those boats going up and down, as we've seen a couple of them go by while we've been sitting here, are tied to energy. But you have other things that come in through the port as well. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I'm very proud to talk about that. I will not take up all your time, but
give me just 30
seconds. Real
seconds.
Quick. If you know and enjoy things like Viva, Charmin, Bounty, Cottonelle, we have an import that ultimately becomes Kleenex and paper towels, and it puts a lot of people to work. We also handle, probably for the state, a third of the fence pickets around here. If you have wooden privacy fence around your house, aluminum that goes into manufacturing a door, window frames. We estimated we handle enough forest products to build about 15,000 homes in Texas last year, or Louisiana. And then I mentioned we handle an export commodity of wood pellets. It's a substitute for coal, or goes to the UK. And
I do wood pellets too.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I wouldn't burn these in your grill, though. I'll tell you.
No, I'm saying I got them in my district.
Oh, do you?
We
Okay.
produce
so
wood
you
pellets.
totally understand that component. All this creates jobs, trucking jobs, logistics jobs, longshore jobs here in our community, and then we also export craft liner board.
So here's where I'm going with this. Because of the energy component and the chemical component, you're able to have a thriving port. That helps all these other industries too, yes or no?
We're all interdependent, and it applies to workforce development and everything else.
And so, whatever you're doing there helps these other industries grow. If we want new industries to come in, and that's a decision that y'all have to make. I can't make that decision for you, but you still need to have that vibrant port. Isn't that true, yes or no? And I'm only doing yes or no so I can get through it fast.
Yes, sir.
And that port's important. We talk about coal. Now, most of my coal currently runs on Norfolk Southern, but in the north of my district and in the south of my district, the coal runs on CSX, which comes out of the Port of Baltimore. Norfolk Southern goes to the Port of Virginia. Port of Baltimore is out of commission. Are y'all able? It's not going to be feasible to truck the coal down here and ship it out. But is it feasible for you all to pick up some of the Port of Baltimore's slack while they're having a hard time?
So the reality, it's like a large body, and it's a finger that's been cut off of our nation, and those flows move into other areas. And we've certainly experienced that. There was a vessel that's behind the bridge, essentially, that was canceled, and it'll be resubmitted by another vessel through here. And we have seen, I mentioned the eucalyptus pulp. It's been redistributed, probably maybe even down to Charleston or some other ports, Jacksonville, on that, maybe as far as east as Mobile. And you touched on something, sir, that's absolutely correct. It's the inland movement of the freight that really adds the cost. And having CSX or Norfolk Southern for us, we're now served by the CPKC, which originally KCS. All very true.
Yeah. And so when you put a pause on expanding the opportunities here in a particular area, it has a ripple effect that could even affect the deepening of the port, as I think somebody else mentioned, or the channels to the port.
Without a doubt, sir. Just like hurricane impacts that we may have, it ripples through the various ports and disrupts the economic cycle. The other big provider that we provide for is military service, and we're certainly an important and relevant, both Beaumont and Port Arthur, to the movement of military goods. All those have effects. It's a system. It's a system of systems. It may not be complex, but it is complicated. and so we certainly serve as one part of that.
All right. I appreciate it very much, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.